I'm Nostalgic Nancy on Instagram and on YouTube. And I just wanted to say, first off the bat, do not read the comments under the video, just in case they have spoilers. I want to make this video so that we can kind of read along together. So there might be comments because we're going to be discussing some of them. But just off the bat, don't read it. Don't read comments unless you've read the book. I will try to mod the comments for future books in a series in case, you know, if I'm reading and reviewing book 2, but book 3 is already out, I will try to mod that in the comments below. But just please be mindful and respectful of your fellow readers. If you're reading along too, make sure you hit the thumbs up and then make sure to hit the save button so that you can come back if you're reading chapter by chapter along with me. So that would be great. So you can find it again. I'll also refrain from spoilers throughout until the chapter is mentioned. So if something crazy happens in chapter 55, when I show the chapter 55 chapter card, please be prepared for chapter 55 spoilers after that. Speaking of 55 chapters, I don't love multi-part videos, but some of these books are hefty. Yeah. So I'll try to break up videos into about 500 pages or whatever makes sense. And or if we really have a lot to talk about. I love reading and book clubs, so I really wanted to do this kind of buddy read along. And I don't really love doing reviews just because you read a review before you read the book. And I don't love subjecting my opinions if you haven't formulated your own yet. So we're going to try to do that here. I don't know. We'll try. I will try to do a short synopsis at the beginning of the book, but if you're looking for like an in-depth what's happened, what's going to happen, this really isn't that. This is really just a, hey, let's get our reactions and share kind of thing. Opinions are entirely my own. I don't look ahead for spoilers, and I really try not to yuck other people's yums. So just make sure to keep your comments and discussion respectful. Even if I'm really upset or I'm like, oh my god, that was so dumb, why did that happen? You know, it's not at the author, it's just the turn of events, and I'm sure that's probably what they meant to do anyway. Alright, so I guess comment below what book you'd like me to read next. I do try and record these as I finish books, so I don't generally want to go back and do videos for books I've already read, just because I don't think my reactions will be the most authentic, and probably my memory isn't as reliable. Okay, so yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, today's book is book 3 of the Sarah J. Maas series, Crescent City. I am going to go ahead and preface this video by saying I have read all of the ACOTAR series and all of the Throne of Glass series. If you have not read those, I do have comments about those, but I will add them later in the video. So if you haven't quite read those, just make sure you skip over those. I'll have a special section at the end just on my thoughts. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Crescent City 3 is House of Flame and Shadow, and the first 2 were mostly following the main female character Bryce and then her friends and eventually her spoiler, her lover Hunt through kind of a revolution of the city and against the Asteri of Midgard, their planet Midgard. So I don't need to describe all that to you because you're very likely going to read along with me. And at least, hopefully, you remember that much. I, for one, my memory was not great going into the 3rd book, so I hoped that authors kind of recap a little bit just to help you remember what's going on, and she did do that enough for me. I will say too that I tab all of my books, and I generally have a key for my tabs. I don't decide them ahead of time, I decide them by the end of it. I will share that key for this one at the end. I'll try to add the tabs colors and things like that throughout the video so you kind of know what we're talking about. Okay, so to start off with, let's see. Prologue. First off the bat, I was trying to remember a bunch of stuff going on, but they just kept talking about Avalon, and when it says, somehow repelled by whatever ancient power lay around Avalon, then that would be a secret worth abasing oneself to keep. I was like, suspicion. I don't know, it just feels like a little too much foreshadowing, so I tabbed that one, suspicion. Chapter 1. I wanted to share, actually, I got, and I'm curious if anybody else's copy is like this, but mine had a little tab at the bottom, so it got tucked in. See that tab there? But then, when you turn it over, it's the cut that was wrong. So look at this. So I'm just keeping it because I love it, the little imperfections. So anyway, I do tab new words, so even if contextually I get what they mean, I'm just always curious because sometimes you just never have run across a word before. So my new word was quailed. I had another suspicion in chapter 1 because it said Bryce bore Thea's light, and Adis had confirmed it. They're just bringing it up again that it's Thea's light, Thea's light, Thea's light. So, oh, chapter 8. Okay. Anybody else? This could have been suspicion, or I actually tagged this one as like a big plot, big news. This one says, Hunt dampened by the weight of an old unbidden hurt. I have no father. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I knew that from Crescent City 1 or 2, but they brought it up again, and we've talked about Hunt's mom a lot, so I've been curious if his dad's gonna come up at all. Chapter 13. Ethan, you big, sweet dummy. Okay, where he's talking to the Viper Queen, he's like, fine, one fight. I was immediately like, red flag, suspicion. Like, it's gonna be the dragon girl, and neither one of you are gonna be able to leave the ring, and you just, like, I don't even know what he would do. Like, are you gonna kill your friend? What's gonna happen? So, suspicion. It was just immediate, like, no brainer, my dude. Thinking is not your strong suit. Love you, Ethan. Chapter 20. Okay, I just cry at everything anyway, and so I did do a tab just for, like, I cried at this. I almost used them all up, just because I'm a big fat crybaby. So I just particularly welled up when Bryce and his future and those beautiful kids, and that was the image he held in his mind instead. Survival was the goal. Bryce was the goal. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. Chapter 23. Sarah J. Maas loves to drop those just zingers at the end of a chapter. This is one of them, where power she siphoned from this place from Celine herself thrummed through her body, and I was automatically like, is it gonna stick? Is this permanent power, or is this like, okay, you know, temporary power? It's permanent. Yeah, not a temporary charge from Hunt, but rather something that had stuck to her own power bound itself there. She's more powerful. She's not just a strobe light. Chapter 25. Ooh, okay. This whole, you may call me Vesperus. Are you related to Hesperus? Who are these people? I can't remember names regardless, so I'm like, I can't remember who all these people are. And I'm glad she went back and described some of the lore again, just so that I remembered. So I actually tagged this one as both lore and suspicion because, well, I was just like, oh, we're gonna find out who this is and what this means. I feel like the more we learn about the Asteri, you know, knowledge is power. So the more we learn, we'll see what happens. Chapter 32. I couldn't have said it better myself, Athalar. Hunt looked, but not fast enough. And Hawk certainly didn't look fast enough. Whatcha! Kill that dude! He knew he'd treasure the moment forever, the moment when Lydia Servos pulled out her gun and fired it right between the Hawk's eyes. Okay, I usually don't get the, like, squeals from somebody getting capped, but this is very satisfying. Chapter 33. I know, SJM. I'm probably gonna say it for the rest of the book, but she loves to sprinkle those. Either holy crap, this is a good thing, or holy crap, this is a bad thing at the end of every chapter. Just got us on a roller coaster. So 34. There was nothing waiting for Lydia but a straight, lethal plunge to the water hundreds of feet below. Okay, she did not just risk her butt, risk her whole, everything she's ever done with her whole life just to die on the edge of a cliff. Like, how anticlimactic, figuratively, not literally. She did not. I don't know. This just can't be true. This can't be happening. So, I don't know. Everybody's exhausted. I just don't know what's gonna happen. And Lydia, 35. It went from bad to worse. She died. I just didn't expect. I didn't expect. Chapter 37. Ugh, I've been crying in this book. Levels up. Couldn't bear to see where he and Bryce had officially become mates. And I just cried about that. Which is just what it is, no. But part of it was too that after 1 and 2, Crescent City 1 and 2 came out, I would, like, there was so much talk and, like, just chatter out there in the world about how Bryce and Hunt weren't actually mates. And I was like, no, I'm just rooting for them every 1000%. Bryce and Hunt forever. And I don't know, just this, like, saying it again, just constantly reaffirming the, you know, the fates were right. Just makes me feel better. Okay, suspicion. Right after that, then, he said, with Hunt's tattoo scar, he could have sworn its ink seared him every now and then. It's never done that before, but this halo ink by Regulus felt different, worse, alive somehow. Okay, my brain is immediately like, got like a tracker on him or something, you know? I don't know if you can, like, embed tiny little GPS or something in that little halo dude, but that's my initial reaction. 38. Jezba was a priestess at Parthos. I love this for her. For one, I don't know, I love this backstory development bit for Jezba because she's just been such an enigma this whole series, you know, just, oh, she's conveniently here and she's got exactly what you need to, oh, wildly convenient. I don't know, Jezba is just a queen and we love her. And so I'm just really loving the backstory and the banter here between her and Ethan. It's hilarious because in my mind he's just like kind of a dummy, and Jezba is just like so wise beyond her years and this, you know, century. So I just love this. 39. Bryce, she is always scheming. She's scheming. You arrived here intentionally. I don't know, I might imagine that in like a Snape voice, kind of. Guilty as charged. She flies by the seat of her pants too often. But we love to see a plan come together. So this little sneaky, I'm gonna see what daddy's got, you know. I know you've been doing all this research. I need knowledge. Who's been doing research? Dear old terrible dad. I knew. I was like, she's way too freaking powerful to have gotten back from the other world and then just, okay, now you can't get out of your dad's house. I don't know. I was like, I don't know about that, but so yay. Oh, she got kids. She's got kids. Sons. Oh, God, and I hope they're not friggin', what's the name? Pollux. Gonna think on that. 42. 42. Ugh. When Bryce and Rune finally reunite, low sound of joy when she saw Rune panting in the doorway. Her brother's eyes wide with shock. Ugh. Yeah, I got a brother. Like, brother-sister reunited. It's good stuff. 44. Oh, I love the sprites. Leaba would be proud. For sure. We will find Erithis and fight with her against the Asteri when the time comes. Yes! Like, what a win. Like, girl power. Chapter 48. Reaper. Reaper! Oh my good god. This got too much. Almeri, Sathia, Reaper, like just I can't. That is kind of a gripe here about the book, is that it doesn't have those little like squigglies in between, like not between chapters, between paragraphs that aren't related. I really need the squigglies because it takes my brain way too long. I'm reading the chapter, I'm like, or that, you know, I'm reading that next paragraph and I'm just like, oh, different storyline. Got it. Duh. So I need the little squigglies or like little dots or something to help break up the craziness. 50. Okay, this whole Bryceling actually details out a plan for like once in her life. She details out a plan. Good for her, girl, for sharing, because all these people are your confidants and they're counting on you. But this whole idea of, it seems weird that two Fae strongholds, both islands were once archipelagos, and we both lost, and then both lost all but the central island in the wake of the arrival of the unpleasant forces. It's just a suspicion. I don't know. That seems real sus. Let's put a pin in that. Yeah. That's all I'll say about that. 52. Oh! The silence that followed was different, lighter, and he could have sworn he caught Lydia glancing toward him as often as he looked at her. I put that little cute, like flirty, little cute flirtness. Adorable. But then, Omega boats pulled into the Istros. Their deck launchers just fired brimstone missiles into Asphodel meadows. Which is just too crazy. I mean, and like, not again? This is insane. Our forces are too scattered. This is just, can't happen. Can't be happening. 53. Lydia and Rune. Lydia and Rune. These two. 54. Oh, just kind of broke my heart. Lydia just not coming to term with her grief, but just the guilt of being the Hind for so long. It really made me tear up because, yeah, just that I should have saved more. Yeah. And then, I did a little lore tag because I feel like we got a little bit more dump of that. The earth magic was sent ahead to scout lands, sense where to build. That's interesting. I'm just gonna tag it. I feel like there's a lot of facts. Bum, bum, bum. Man, Morven and the Autumn King need to get stuffed. Alright. They keep showing up. Bad attitudes, bad dudes, just red flags. Red flags all around. 55. Oh, I double tagged this page. Because at first it was like real cutie, flirty, and then it was kind of getting a little warmer. Lydia and Rune. Ugh. That killed me. I think I cried a little too. My day. Triple flagged it. It was cute. It was hot. It was sad. Not sad, but I'm trying to cry about it. Okay, give me all your part 1 thoughts and subscribe for part 2. Thanks.